My name is Morgan Freeman. Yeah? It's not very good, but I still do it every other video. Hey there guys, how are you? Welcome to a brand new Q&A Ask Anything video where I answer questions. That's what a Q&A is. I'll explain what this is doing here in just 1 second. What is one thing you do before every video to get ready? Alright, one thing I do before I push record every single time before I start a video is I use my extremely large stormtrooper friend here, and I use him as a reference point to focus my camera. For example, what I do is I pretend like his head is my head. That just sounds weird. I zoom in, I focus it until I get it just right, and there we go. And usually I do use the stormtrooper, but sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit frisky, I use this guy right here. Tell me, do you bleed? And by the way, before we begin, I have a question for you guys. How are you? How are you doing? How is your life going? Let me know these things down below in the comments section. And also, my other question to you is, do you like science fiction short films? The film is called Zygote, and it's the latest sci-fi short film from filmmaker Neil Blomkamp and Oats Studios. And it's available to watch on July 12th. Completely free, and you guys can watch it at Oats Studios' YouTube channel, their stream, or their Facebook page. I'll put the links down below. The film stars Dakota Fanning, and it's about two lone survivors who have to fight for their lives while stranded in an Arctic mine. And once again, this was created by Neil Blomkamp's studio, the guy responsible for directing District 9. And I got to watch the short film already, and it has a very strong Aliens vibe. It definitely has that Neil Blomkamp touch to it. And I also enjoyed the monster alien creature in Zygote, but you guys can check it out for yourselves completely free. All links are down below, and if you go there and watch it on YouTube, tell them the FlickPick sent you. And they'll be like, who's that guy? What is your go-to movie to use as a drink coaster? That's a great question. I'll be right back. Hang on just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So let me open this up here and pull it out. Oh, here it is. So here's the coaster. And now here's the drink. Because that's all Batman and Robin is good for. That and shitty one-liners and puns about ice.
Tonight's forecast. A freeze is coming. Allow me to break the ice. You are not sending me to the cooler. Freeze well. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
What's the worst part about being on YouTube? YouTube. I've been here for a very, very long time, since 2010. What is that? I'm not a mathematician. 7 years? There's been a lot of ups and there's been a lot of downs, but I'd say one of the worst parts about being on YouTube is you don't know what YouTube is doing at any time. Sometimes they change things, they don't tell you, the algorithms change, it affects everything. And sometimes for 2 months on end, you upload videos, and every time you upload a video, there's an algorithm where YouTube starts deleting your subscribers, and you know they're deleting your subscribers because your subscribers every day message you and tell you, John, I went to go watch your new video, but I was unsubscribed. And after you get 600 messages just like that, you think to yourself, there's probably a technical issue here. So what do? You contact YouTube, and they tell you everything's okay, we don't make mistakes, it's okay, we're YouTube. And then you think to yourself, fuck. So the worst thing about YouTube is, well, YouTube itself. They're always making changes. They're not very transparent with what they're doing, so it's always a guessing game for the first 6 months with any change, and it always affects you as the creator and the viewer. Will you hire me as an intern? Cameron, I would love to hire you as an intern, but keep in mind, I can only pay you with Sour Patch Kids, and I'm very particular and anal retentive about how I edit my videos, because they're not funny unless I get to edit them. And if you had to edit them, you just see me stumbling and repeating the same thing 15 times in a row. But yeah, besides that, oh, and I also, if you're an intern, I need you to always run and get me energy drinks at 4 o'clock in the morning and the occasional back rub. It doesn't have to be weird. Like, I just really have tense traps. Any advice on how to grow a small channel? Thanks, love your videos. Thanks, man. But as far as growing a small YouTube channel, which, by the way, nowadays is harder than ever, because it doesn't matter how talented you are, the problem is there's already 10,000 people, probably in the same category that you want to get into, so standing out is extremely difficult. I mean, even in 2010 when I started, there was maybe 20 or 30 people doing the same thing. And if you were good at what you did and you could be unique, you stood out and you could grow as a channel. But now there is more competition than ever. And it's just, it's almost scary thinking about it. Red Bull at 5 o'clock in the morning. So good. But my advice to you is look at someone who's making videos that you want to make in the same category. If it's a vlog channel, movie review channel, look at what these people are doing. Do not copy these people, but it's okay to follow their format. So I have a format where, I start out in my videos, I do something funny, something real quick and entertaining. And throughout my video, I try to make it quick pace. I show clips and images, and that's fine. A lot of people do that exact same format when it comes to movie reviews. But my advice to you is bring your personality along with that. Do something unique that only you do or something only you say so you stand out. And my other advice to you is learn how to market your YouTube videos. Don't just upload a video and expect it to go viral. Sometimes that does happen. It's a magical and mystical thing. I have a video where I played with a toy shark in my swimming pool 5 years ago, and it has like 2.5 million views. Why does it have those? I have no fucking clue. I guess people will just like weirdos playing with toy sharks in a pool. I don't know. But my advice to you is market your video. So depending on what type of video it is, go to forums, go here, go there. I mean, spread your video as much as you possibly can. Go to Twitter, go to Facebook. Whatever you can do to get your video in front of people, do it. And my other advice is make a quality video. Don't just shoot some shitty video with your phone where it's shaking all over. You shoot it in your bathroom where you can hear echoes and the lights are half dim. You can't even see what's happening. No one wants to watch videos like that. Light your video. Use a good camera. It doesn't have to be a $5,000 camera. I mean, cell phone cams nowadays do look pretty good in 1080p. So if you want to set that camera down and use that camera, my advice to you is try to get the best audio possible. And you can buy $30 microphones to have good audio. So that's not really that big of an issue. And you know what? I'm going to keep talking about this. I want to give you a really good conclusive answer. Also keep this in mind. It's about quality and not quantity, because sometimes on YouTube, I come across channels where it feels like the people making these videos they just feel like an obligation to pump out as many videos as they possibly can. And I feel like they're not very inspired and they're just going for 50 videos a week rather than focusing on making one good video per week. And here's some life advice for you, and don't ever forget it, and I live by this advice. Work smart, don't work hard. Keep that in mind. And here's the last bit of advice I can give you if you're trying to truly grow a small channel into a bigger channel to get more people to come watch your videos. Occasionally make topical videos about whatever's happening. Make things that people are looking for on YouTube and they might just come across your stuff. Have you ever confronted a terrible moviegoer? Just did for the first time ever last month. Sad times we live in. I'm trying to think about annoying people I've had confrontations with in the theater. There's been a few times where you hear someone talking throughout the entire movie and you just go, shut the fuck up! So other than that happening a few times in my life, I've never really had a confrontation with anyone in the theater, but I dread going to the movie theater nowadays because I walk into the theater, right? And I'm scared. I'm so scared that this is going to be the audience that ruins the movie for me. And I just pray to the movie gods above, please don't put an annoying asshole in this theater. I don't want a crying baby. I don't want someone who's talking loud. I don't want someone who chews their popcorn with their mouth wide open. And please don't put 3 kids behind me where they kick the back of my seat. Oh, please, just I don't want it. But there have been times in my movie theater going experiences where I have been sitting in the theater and before the trailers start, I see someone bring their 4-month-old baby into the theater at 10 o'clock showing to a rated R film, and you think to yourself, how incompetent are these people? Like, these people are so stupid that now they're raising a child. Like, I'm scared for the child's safety. And this same thing has happened to me 20 or 30 times. And if it's a movie I really want to see, and if before the movie starts I hear the slightest whimper from that small child, and it's not the child's fault, it's the parents, but if I hear any indication that that baby is going to cry throughout this movie, what I do is I stand up, I go out to the lobby, I look up at the menu of movies playing, and I just go to the next one playing. I will wait another half an hour to avoid a crying baby in a movie, and I've done that same thing at least 4 or 5 times. John, what are your favorite Quentin Tarantino films from worst to best? I love me some Quentin Tarantino. I'm not going to give you a list from best to worst because I mean, I'd have to sit at my computer and research that for 5 hours and come up with a conclusive list. But I will say maybe one of my least favorite Tarantino films off the top of my head, and it's not even a bad movie. It would probably, maybe Jackie Brown would be my least favorite, but I would say my favorite one, and in my opinion, the best film, is Pulp Fiction. But right beside Pulp Fiction, I would say Django Unchained is almost tied. And hear me out for a second. Because in the film Django Unchained, there's a lot of things going on that I love. I love Westerns. I love adventure films. I like the time period. I like the topics that they're talking about. It's just fascinating to me. Jamie Foxx is great. And then you have actor Christoph Waltz in the movie, who is phenomenal. I'd like to introduce you to my good friend Django here. That's what he sounds like. How do you feel about the rise of reclined seating in movie theaters? Reclined seating in movie theaters? I wish I had a reclined seat right now because I just feel like laying down. I love it. I want every theater to have reclining seats. Please, it's so relaxing. And also, when you have reclining seats in theaters, you typically get more space to yourself rather than being elbow to elbow with the guy that has a sweaty arm that his finger keeps touching you like that. Am I the only one that gets that? And when we talk about reclined seating in theaters, I'm talking about stuff like this right here. Like that reclines all the way back with a footrest on it. I'm not talking about just the theater chairs that kind of lean back like that. Please, I wish every theater had that in it. That just makes going to the movies that much better. What is one of your favorite childhood video games? When I think about childhood video games, I think about the console of the SNES, the Super Nintendo, which, by the way, they are re-releasing that, and it has like 20-something games on it, preloaded. And I will be buying that, so I look forward to that, and I want to relive my childhood and go to the happy place. So to answer your question, some of my favorite games came from this console. I would say a few of my favorite games: Zombies Ate My Neighbors, phenomenal game, very difficult game. I still have never beat that game. Just thinking about it makes me feel empty inside because I've never beat Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I feel like a failure. What am I doing with my life? And also Super Mario World. I mean, one of the best games ever. I could spend 5 days playing that game. I like going to every single level. I don't take the shortcut of Star World. You don't do that shit. You play every single map, and then you get the Bowser's Castle. And also a few other games off the top of my head. Mario Kart was always a blast. And also I enjoyed the battle round, multiplayer battle round in Mario Kart with friends where you had to pop the bubbles on the side of the car. Oh, nothing was more exciting than getting a red shell to shoot at your friend. Oh, I miss it. All right, so those were my answers to your questions. I had hundreds of more questions, some really good ones, but unfortunately, it's very late. I'm at a Red Bull, and I feel like I'm going to collapse now. But if you want to stick around and watch more videos on this channel, you guys can watch my Spider-Man Homecoming movie review, which, by the way, best Spider-Man movie ever made, in my opinion. As always, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts, your opinions down below, and make sure you subscribe. That way, I can see you next time.